Hello, happy folks, and happiest of days to each of you folks. So today for Saturday, I like to do a review of something that I call Serial Saturday, where I do reviews of older movie and TV serials that were heavily influential on our modern day stuff, but which are often actually sort of, not really celebrated that much. And that sort of, I think, so I spent months doing this for you folks. From things like Flash Gordon to Buck Rogers to the Zorro series. Now, I've also done the first 2 seasons of Doctor Who from the 60s too, in the TV side of things. Alright, so let's get this started. So last week, I did 1937's Zorro Rides Again by Republic, a 12-episode thing, which kicked it off. So let's go to the prequel now from 1939, Zorro's Fighting Legion. Now, a lot of fans prefer this. They think it's a better one. So this is a prequel. Again, it's by Republic. It's real side personnel. It's the exact same length at 2 hours. 2 minutes, 211 minutes. So it's a little, it's just a minute over 3 hours, 3.5 hours. It's very fast. So it stars as Zorro, Don Diego, Reed Hadley, and Sheila Darcy is playing Volita, and then it also stars as William Carson is Ramon, and Leander D. Cordova is played by Governor Philippe. It also stars Edmund Copperler as Manuel Gonzalez and John Merton as Commandant Manuel. For you folks, it's directed by William Whitney and John English. There's a bunch of writers. I wanted to give them to you here in a big long list. They are Ronald Stevenson, Franklin Adrian with an I, but with an E, Morgan Cox, Sol Shore, Barney A. Sareki, and the novel that this is based on was by Johnston McCulley. This is like I mentioned earlier, this is a prequel to the previous one set in the colonial era, right after they've won their independence about a few months later. And that's sort of a thing. So all the major people here are major people helping to keep the nation safe and that sort of a thing. And there is an independence movement that is trying to take over the area, and they are using a combination of bad guys that are our race and nationalities, white folks, as well as Native Americans that have been united by their God coming back in form. That sort of thing. So, like a lot of these, this is of its time. Unfortunately, the natives here, like I just mentioned, are really easily controlled, mystical reactionaries, rather than actual people with proper stuff, that sort of a thing. And it's a very racist of a character, and that sort of a thing. So just heads up. I do enjoy the combat here, good cliffhangers, no serial sins, and that sort of thing. We do have unfortunately, there in this drops the point. There is a clip show there. And this one, which drops it a little bit to my mind. It is added in. It's not just shown. It's made a part of the story, but I don't like it that much. And it's actually pretty early. It's not like the penultimate episode or episode 10 or something like that. So I'm dropping a point off for that because it shouldn't have been. It was. I don't remember any from the previous one. All right, so what did you think? Have you seen it? And that sort of thing. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. And that sort of thing. Again, 8 out of 10. Now, as a reminder, I am not I'm not a trained movie critic or even a movie maker, right? And that sort of thing. I didn't go to film school or anything like that. I actually I studied political science, and then I actually was a top political science as a professor. And as well as working in residence life, right? So I haven't actually been, and I've always worked at colleges, right? So I am just a fan, right? So that means that your opinion will be just as valid, right, as mine is, right? And so this is set in the serial era, right, at its height at 39 and that sort of thing. And it's pretty much its peak. And Republic are typically known for doing some good quality stuff. All right, so this is as a reminder, like I mentioned before, this is heavily influential, but we sort of forgotten about. Back then you typically wouldn't go to the movie theater for just one film, and then see a couple previews and then head home. All right. Instead, you would go there for like a half a day, or sometimes even a day, right? But typically, maybe 5 or 6 hours, right? And so you'd go there for a film, With a few openings, they didn't actually typically have trailers. They were common, but they just weren't that big a number and that sort of thing. So you wouldn't just be loaded down with trailers and then move to your film and then go home. You might have a couple of trailers here and there, but you typically have more newsreels, sometimes from the government, sometimes from companies trying to sell you stuff, and then as well as some cartoons, short cartoons that are a few minutes long. Those would also be shown too, like Steamboat, like Mickey, that sort of thing, Mickey Mouse, that sort of thing too. So there you are, and then after that they would show the first A film, and then the A serial, and then you would head to intermission. And the serial, not the A picture, would be the sort of thing that sort of drove you to coming back off of the second half. It was all about cliffhangers. How's this person going to survive? Well, let's find out at the theater next week, right? Then the second half would begin after intermission. And then you would go ahead and you would have a couple of shorts, and then the B picture, which is typically very short compared to modern films. It's often, sometimes it might not even be an hour. There are some that are just under an hour, but an hour, 15 minutes or something like that wouldn't be that uncommon either. And then after that, another serial, and then you guys would head out, right? And that's sort of a thing, often on weekends like this, Saturday. And then you guys would head out, and again, that would be the water cooler talk, right? How is this person going to survive this cliffhanger? I don't know. Let's check it out next week, right? And that became the water cooler talk. Everybody went in their community, their families, their churches, their schools, their businesses. Everybody sort of went together, right? And that sort of a thing. And so that's definitely uncovering these things is a passion. Also, yesterday I did my top 10 serials, and then sort of you can check it out too. I also do a lot of other top 10s, and that's on that day too. On Wednesday, I do video game reviews for all the video games. I just did Baldur's Gate 3 from about 18 months ago. But yeah, typically I do some older stuff. Like I just did the Baldur's Gate series. I did Pool of Radiance and Pool of Radiance week and that sort of thing. So that's Wednesday. I also do some Let's Plays of older games too. And then on Monday I do something reviewing older. Either something from role-playing games, like I reviewed the Middle Earth role-playing game as an example, or BattleTech stuff like BattleTech and that sort of stuff too. So you can check that out too. Right now I'm reviewing modules for Dungeons and Dragons in the early era, so I'll be checking that out too if you're interested. And then also I do something on so those are my 4 things, and I do 3 reviews a week on older things that you read in science fiction, fantasy, or horror, the 3 genres that this channel covers for you folks. So check all those out. And then if those 7 things sound like your cup of tea, these older reviews and that sort of thing typically, then great. Welcome to the channel. Have a seat and take your shoes off. I think you'll enjoy your time here. But while you're here, why not hit the subscribe button and do all the YouTube stuff? Sub button, hit the like button, share with your friends, hit the bell icon to be notified on those videos too, but basically just watch and share. Those are the key ways to grow this channel. Alrighty, so there you are. As you can tell from all those older things and the title of the channel too, it's where the passion comes from. And so it's even where its title comes from. The worst thing about the new books, it's a quote by a French philosopher, Jacques Schubert, who said that the worst thing about them was that they kept us from reading the old ones. And this is definitely some older stuff we might have forgotten about in our passion for the new books, in this case, video games or novels too, or movies and that sort of thing. We have sometimes in our new stuff, we have sometimes forgotten they are standing on the shoulders of giants. All right, so let's check out this giant. Well, they're bad. They're not. And I have sometimes done reviews here and there more recently, but you get the idea. But so let's check this out, right? Also, since we're on Serial Saturday, my number 1 strength in Strengths Quest, which is a personality type indicator, is context, and I appreciate something the more I learn about it. So when I see Flash Gordon, I appreciate Star Wars more because it was heavily influenced on it, right? Ditto Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is heavily based on the serial era too. Right, so check us out. Alright, so if that's you, welcome to the channel, like I said earlier. Alrighty, there you go. And if you made it this far, I just want to thank you so very much just for taking some time out of your day and investing it, right, and watching my videos, because we all have so many things, right, that are happening in our lives. And we're pulled in so many different directions too. So the fact that you spent this time with me. That's incredibly humbling, and I appreciate it so very, very much. So, thanks again, and have an amazing day.